Today I'm gonna show you how to make two types of cheesy burritos that are low in calories, high in protein, and can be made in about 15 minutes. For the first one, you will need a blender or a food processor. Put it on a scale and add cottage cheese. This is a ridiculously good protein source with only 60 calories and 13 grams of protein in every 100 grams of cheese. Add 150 grams to the blender. Since cottage cheese can be a bit salty for some, counteract that by adding 50 grams of evaporated milk. This is a sweet concentrated milk often added to coffee but also great in cheese recipes. Next is 50 grams of cheddar cheese. I'm using the regular full-fat version, but if you can find reduced fat cheddar, that would be perfect as it has 1/3 less of the calories. Next, add half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, quarter teaspoon of paprika, and freshly ground black pepper. The last ingredient is either 10 grams of a vinegar-based hot sauce like Frank's, or as I'm using, gochujang. This is a red chili paste with fermented soy and has a ton of flavor. It's quite high in calories, but because it's so strong, you only need 10 grams, so add this in and then blend this on high for about 60 seconds until it turns into an orange, smooth and creamy sauce, and then set it aside. This recipe makes 2 servings, each with a large 25 cm or 10-inch tortilla. For reference, each tortilla weighs about 60 grams and has 180 calories. You can also use 3 medium-sized tortillas weighing 40 grams each if you prefer smaller servings. I will list all the serving amounts in the description in case you want to meal prep more or fewer burritos. Next, dice 1 yellow onion, this weighs about 50 grams, and prepare 180 grams of extra lean ground beef. This particular one has 5% fat. You can also use regular ground beef if you want, but it has about double the calories. So, heat up a pan to medium heat, add some oil and saute the onions with a pinch of salt for about 2 to 3 minutes, stirring them occasionally until they caramelize, which will add a ton of flavor. Then push the onions aside, add a bit more oil, and go in with the beef. Separate the beef with a spatula so as much meat as possible gets in contact with the pan for maximum browning. I will only add salt and black pepper to this as all the other spices are in the sauce. Let the beef sit here for about a minute before mixing with the onions and frying for another minute until the beef is done. Be careful not to overcook the extra lean meat as it can become dry very fast. Once ready, take the pan off the heat, add in the sauce and stir for about 1 minute until it thickens and covers all of the beef. Now, if you want to meal prep this for another day, you need to let this completely cool down before adding it to the tortilla, or the steam that is coming out will make the burrito soggy. Prepare 1 tortilla, split the beef in half and add it into the middle. Fold both sides in, then roll it up from the bottom into a burrito. Repeat this with the other tortilla as well, then add a bit of oil to the pan on medium-high heat and cook all 4 sides of the burritos for about 90 seconds in total until they are crispy. Then prepare some parchment paper and roll each of the burritos tightly into it. They last in the fridge for 3 to 5 days, or what would be even better, store them in the freezer for up to 3 months. And now look how creamy this is, and it tastes absolutely amazing. One of these burritos has 517 calories, 41 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat and 42 grams of protein. The next burrito starts with chicken breasts, but before that, I made a cookbook that helped me go from this to this without even thinking about being on a diet. 190 low-calorie, high-protein recipes from breakfast, lunch or dessert, and even nutritional tables or protein sources. Everything you need is in here. And the best part is that I will constantly be updating the book with new recipes, and you will get every recipe update for free once you've purchased it. Join the thousands of people that already bought the book. The link is in the description. The chicken weighs about 200 grams, again for 2 large tortillas. You will need to slice up the chicken and then flip them and cut again into bite-sized pieces. Don't make the chicken pieces too big. Eating a big piece of meat in a burrito isn't that great in my experience. Add them to a bowl with a bit of oil, then add half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder, quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, quarter teaspoon of paprika, a strong pinch of salt and freshly ground black pepper, and then stir until the chicken is evenly seasoned. The cheese sauce here is very simple. In a bowl, combine 50 grams of cheddar cheese and half a teaspoon of cornstarch. The cornstarch is important here as it prevents the cheese from breaking in the pan and become oily. Then add 75 grams of evaporated milk and 10 grams of hot sauce. I'm using Frank's at this, and stir until everything is combined. So, fry the chicken in a preheated pan on medium heat and spread it out with a spatula for even cooking. You can also add 1 diced red bell pepper or an onion, but I will keep it super simple for this one. After 1 minute, the bottom side of the meat will have some color, so flip all of the chicken pieces so they get some browning on the other side as well. Keep frying the chicken for 1 more minute and then remove it from the heat. Now, add in the cheese sauce and keep stirring. You will see that the cheese will immediately start melting, and this will turn into an amazing gooey cheese sauce that is also great for mac and cheese. I mean, look at this. Again, if you want to meal prep this, you need to let this cool down until it doesn't steam anymore, so separate it into 2 servings, add it on top of the tortilla and roll it into a burrito shape. Once again, add them back to the pan with a bit of oil and cook all 4 sides for 90 seconds in total until they have some nice color and are crispy. Put them into parchment paper and roll them tightly, and there you have 2 cheesy chicken burritos that looks and tastes absolutely delicious. One of these burritos come in at 442 calories, 38 grams of carbs, 17 grams of fat and 34 grams of protein. If you like these burritos, you need to check out my high protein mac and cheese recipe with similar ingredients, so click on this video and see you there.